Okay, we're gonna get started. Call to order the Newton County Planning Commission. First off, we'll do the pledge.
Yeah, wait, normal, huh?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. First on the agenda is approval of the September 23rd, 2025 minutes. Motion.
Motion approved.
Second.
I'll second.
All those in favor of approval of the minutes, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Next is Christy Fox and Michelle. The Brady's.
Yeah.
Zoning change from B1 district. TP R district for the following properties. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, come up here and tell us what you want. There's two. Oh, it's a hypo. I didn't understand. I didn't use it, man. Yeah. Okay,
Hi.
sounds what you want. Do.
I'm requesting, to rezone the property on Front Street from business to residential. The area around it is primarily residential and, we have a house 2 blocks away on Craig Street, so. Similar, it was a empty lot and we built a house, so. Just requesting to have it rezoned for that purpose.
What's your plans for it?
To build another house.
We just to build another
Yeah,
house?
yeah. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single family home.
Any questions? Is there a alley in there? There's no alley.
Alley, no, there's no alley.
There would be help for.
You know what? I don't know all the history. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, that was across the street.
Or the lab-based building, it's like a garage or some other building, some sort of county property. All the property behind it. Yeah.
That used to be a school.
Yeah.
There's across the street.
All right, I gotta do this to file. There's no further questions open to the public for public comment on this. If anybody has any questions about it, if not, we'll bring it back to the board. I see no question, so.
Make a motion approved. Second.
Motion been made to approve, seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Here's. This will go on to the commissioners for final approval.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Right. Next on the agenda is the US drag strip. William IP PUD revision, consideration of change of current plan unit development in regards to hours and days of operation.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
I'm the new manager over at the US 41 with the drag strip. I just took over from the previous management. I've been in the race car business for a long time, been in multiple tracks across the country. Been in Phoenix, I've been, South Carolina, and now I'm up here trying to help turn this around up here.
Excuse me, sir, would you speak up just a little bit?
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
And what I'm here to do is try to do better the track. I know that it has, I've heard since I've been here, it has some black eyes per se. And I'm hoping that we can turn things around and head it the right direction. What we were asking for, I think is reasonable. We're looking to extend hours on certain days. And we're also requesting to get some different days. Right now, from what I understand, I have some old paperwork here. I don't know how true what I have here is an old email from, what is it? From 2021 about what we are currently, I guess, allowed to do or what we're not allowed to do. So I've just been kind of going on what this email I have, so I'm not sure if this is even correct, but I'm assuming it is. This is post-COVID.
Right after
Um,
COVID.
I believe ours, I know there was a lot of restrictions on that due to, you know, the health concern and capacity and everything. But since we're well overdue, well past that, we're just looking to, extend, like I said, extend some hours and some days, because according to this, currently right now, we cannot operate on Monday and Thursday, which I have no issue with, Monday. But Thursday I do, because what I'm trying to achieve is we have a lot of professional race car teams. They go to like Indianapolis for some of the major races and stuff. And I'd like to have some of them come to us and practice with us before they go to Indy. It benefits them, it benefits the community as far as, you know, income and everything as well. And again, right now I can't do that on those Thursdays, and that Thursday is a valuable day for the race car teams, because Indy is about, what, a couple of hours from here. And they can get a lot of valuable data for their information for their races, you know, in order to succeed down at Indianapolis at the race. I know that's once a year. Once or twice a year, they have a, you know, a huge national event. But we also have, I'd like to also have some testing for individuals, for private individuals, also that want to better themselves, better their teams. Right now I can't do that. If we have a, you know, Friday, Saturday event, a lot of people would request to race on Thursday. But currently I can't. I have to tell them no, because according to this, I cannot race on Thursday. I'm willing to give up another day so I can get Thursday. So we're still closed technically 2 days a week. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are now.
And we'd like our days that we have off to float. Not necessarily we have to be closed on Monday, we have to be closed on Thursday. I'm not saying I'm not racing any more days. I just like us to be able to float those days. If, you know, it's 50 something days a year.
Should be 56 days a year.
Yeah, but I'd like those to float throughout the, you know, the year, so that way, okay, well, if we don't race this day, that's, you know, this is our day off. Or if we have maintenance that we need to do one day and we actually close, let's say on a Wednesday, we're gonna do maintenance on a Wednesday, and then we don't do something on a Wednesday night. You know, that's basically, and our extended hours are because most races, we do finish promptly around 11 o'clock. We have had instances since I've been here, I can count 4 or 5, where we've had some vehicles have some mechanical failures and they oil down the racetrack. So now I have to clean up the racetrack in order to complete the event. And that takes at least an hour most of the time, because it's not a little mess, it's usually a big mess. So what happens is a lot of the people, the participants, and the promoters, they don't want to. They hesitate, I guess, to book certain events, because if something happens, let's say at 10:30, 10:45, this is, no, we have a couple of rounds before the final race, a car blows up and they oil the racetrack down. Well, now we have to clean up, obviously, the mess, because the track is not safe at that point. So we have to take our time, make sure the track is safe before we can resume the event and before we can complete the event. That's like a lot of the biggest thing from a perspective of race car people is we want to go to a race that we're racing for $5,000, and now we have to split. A lot of people don't like to do that because they came to win the money, not to split with somebody else due to a mechanical failure of somebody else's vehicle. So they don't have that chance to complete the event. So it doesn't look good for the promoter. It doesn't look good for the racetrack as well, like, oh, well, they can't finish a race. So I don't think we want to go there because they can't complete an event. Again, I'm not saying that's gonna happen all the time. That's why I would like, we're not asking for, the reason we just put a time because we think that would be sufficient. I'm not saying we're gonna race that late every time, every day. I don't wanna race that late. I don't wanna keep my people there till midnight, past 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever it is, because that's more payroll for us. And that's more, it costs the promoters more, it costs the track more, as well. So we don't want to have to stay open, but on the other side of the table, we want to complete the event too, because it looks better for all parties once the actual, race is complete. So it doesn't look good, with the age of Facebook and everything, everybody loves bashing everybody from one mistake. And it's hard a lot of times to recover from, obviously, one bad word of mouth is worse than 10 good things about how good something was or how great it was. But one negative just erases all the positive things that have ever been done, such as the event that happened, I guess, that gave, people gave us a black eye per se. What I've also been speaking with too, I've been working with the fire department, trying to get them to come as well. They did a boot drive just recently, raised some money for the fire department. Also looking at possibly doing some stuff with hopefully Newton County Police Department and Jasper County Police Department. I've already spoken with Jasper County. They do the EVO special vehicle training. I've invited them to come and train at the facility, obviously free of charge. I'd like to do that for Newton County as well. I'd also have spoken with, I've talked with, Jeremy. Yeah, what's his?
Vanderwall.
Jeremy Vanderwall, yes, I spoke with him a few times about, obviously our facilities are open for the county as well, as far as they need some training. We have room, if they want to come set a car on fire to practice how to put out, equipment, fires or practice equipment and stuff like that. The doors are open for them as well. Anything we can do to help the community, and that's what we're trying to do is do stuff for the community, as far as helping with things, for the fire department and the police department, whatever we can do along, and everybody, to keep everybody happy. We're trying to make things better, and we're also I've been working to try to also have some officers at certain events as well to help control the situation if anything should arise. But we haven't had any issues. We don't have, from what I've been told, the fire department hasn't been out there as much as they had in the past, from what I've been told. And also, there's not been as many responses to incidents. So I think that's a move in the right direction. We're trying to do it right, and that's why we're here, obviously. I want to make sure that we do things the proper way and ask for permission the right way. And again, I'm assuming we're operating under this piece of paper with emails, so I don't know what's official or what's not official. So I'm using this as faith, saying this is what we can do. And now let's ask them, since we're post-COVID now, so we don't have to worry about any of all that. The communicable disease thing with the spreading of the virus and all that stuff, and the 6 foot and all that stuff, since we don't have to do that anymore, it's not really applicable. So we're just trying to get back a lot of the stuff that was before this. From my understanding, there was, when the track was built, I think it was 94, there would have been no restrictions on the place whatsoever up until, I don't know what year it was. Again, I don't have all the information as far as timeline, but I know that there used to be no restrictions on anything. Then they could do whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted, but we're not doing that. Something I know is a concern also with the community, obviously, is the noise. When I moved, I actually moved to Phoenix from Chicago. And when I purchased my property, I lived near Luke Air Force Base. So the realtor, when I purchased this property, they made me sign a disclaimer or disclosure saying that I was aware of the air traffic noise. So I had to sign that before I purchased the house. So again, the Air Force Base was there before the house was there. So I had to sign a disclosure saying that I understood and that I wanted to buy the house anyway. My thing is, I don't know when these houses were built, but a lot of the houses around here from what I understand, is I think there should be in place a disclosure that says when you purchase this house, that there is a racetrack nearby, so they know. Part of that, maybe the property owners haven't done their due diligence before they purchase the house. I don't know. I simply just making a fact, because I know when I purchased my house near a high traffic area, they made me sign something, and I did my due diligence and looked around the place too before I purchased the property. But that's just something I would just like to put out there, that maybe in the future, if more people do build houses or decide to move in the area, maybe that's something that should be done as far as to help people understand what's there, not just, assume nothing's around, just, I think that's reasonable. That's just, just something I'd like to put out there as well, but
Most of the people there, that racetrack,
so I don't know the timeline. That's why I'm just,
not new houses, but
Mhm.
folks were there for generations, for the things ever there. If you get that one.
okay, yes, sir, but it's,
Would you speak up, sir? I'm sorry, we're having.
Most of the houses out there were built before that racetrack ever came to town. For 3 or 4 generations, so that came after the fact. Not
Mhm.
like they built an extra racetrack, it was already there.
yeah,
They were there before that racetrack came.
Thank you.
that's all, but that's what we're asking, is just to change let our days be floating instead of hard days that we have to do it this day, we have to do it that day. And just some extended hours, like you said, it doesn't benefit me to run past, I'm just putting a number out that I'm not saying, because I don't know when the event's gonna finish, but it doesn't benefit me to run past 1 or 2 in the morning at all. Unless I absolutely have to, because I want to finish that event. If something happened, before I got to finish the event, I just want to get the event finished. And get whoever won, get them their crown, get them their title.
I think some of the issues now are with sound. One of the biggest complaint that I've heard is with sound. Have you looked at sound remediation where you would put in like deflector panels or sand berms or even putting in speaker systems that are more spread out instead of huge speakers that can be heard for miles?
I don't know much about that. I do know another track that I have some other people that work at some other facilities, and they did try that. It helped a little bit, but instead of I guess the noise would go up this way more instead of, I guess it goes out more since
Similar
there's
to what
no,
you have on an interstate highway where you got the walls along the sides of the
Oh.
sound goes up rather than out.
yes, sir. And we've looked at kind of like that. I said, I know, another track had used containers, and they stacked some containers on top of each other. They said it helped some. It did help a little bit. But I don't know what the cost would be, as far as, it's a 3/4 of a mile racetrack, honestly, so I don't know how much money we're talking to, cause you're looking at 1.5 miles of barrier now.
How about the PA system? Could you spread that out a little more without having those huge trumpets?
The PA could probably be, they could probably be aimed more. We do, actually use a radio station as well. So that could be another viable option, is, make sure everybody uses the radio station, and we could, I could probably definitely work on getting turn the PA down and maybe aiming the bullhorns in a different direction, so they're not pointing outwards, I guess. And so they're more concentrated at the people in the racetrack versus, I'm not sure how they're pointing now, honestly. I've only been here since July, so this is all, I'm still learning a lot of this stuff here.
I gotta ask, we bought it in July, you did know the hours you were dealt, right?
I did not know till I found this piece of paper. I had no idea, and, they kind of told me about it, but I didn't actually find this until I got here, which is, so I'm abiding by the rules. I don't wanna,
When was our last meeting? Well, we didn't change. We know.
27, 24.
Looks like there was a PUD meeting,
It's
it
canceled.
was canceled.
That was
August
last year.
just,
The meeting last year that was canceled.
As far as
Yeah,
what
we can't
was filed here.
So basically it was 21, May
Yeah.
of 21 was the last time we done the hours.
Yeah, that's 21.
Yeah, that's when this is, that's what we have.
Got it.
So it's COVID.
See, local and rural ones and.
And this was all changed from my understanding due to COVID. That's what this came from.
Now, somewhat. A lot of it was changed simply because the neighborhood does not want to hear you race until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yes,
No
sir.
one wants to hear that.
I don't want to.
I don't wanna do either.
Way I hear it.
Yeah.
And you've got things down here, you wanna be stopping at 1 AM?
That's just,
That's 16 hours of racing, and you start at 9 AM.
that's just an ask that we don't,
But this is what we're gonna approve. So I'm looking
Okay.
at this, I'm adding up, you're having 14-hour days, 16-hour days, 17-hour days to race. You can't get a race in 17 hours?
well, a lot of the races we're trying to get are, they're considered big money bracket races and you'll have a couple hundred cars, 200, 300, 400
Exactly,
cars.
but I know that, but the point is, I don't want to hear a racetrack for 17 hours.
Mm,
No one does.
And
And then
we
you
don't
wanna
either.
extend the
except when we-
days and make it just as long?
Pardon?
And then you wanna race every day but Monday?
No,
No, sir.
That's what my paper says. Every day but Monday. Monday is track maintenance. And this is what we got.
We didn't,
Looking
is-
at this paper, and this is what the PUD was wanting to change, is hours and days. And the
Yes,
only
sir.
thing I see is Monday is the only day that you're
we-
not racing.
we didn't know, I'd never done this.
Thursday should be closed also.
Well,
is
that-
all
You
you-
got it
that's
on
what-
this paper,
what we
is
asked.
that you wanna race on.
That's what
Yeah.
they're looking at.
No, they're looking at what you sent.
We
to
want to
ask
give 2
for.
days a week.
Yeah, but we do want to give you, like, we do want to do the 2 days a week. But I've never been in front of a board or know what to ask, so I'm learning on how to do things the right way. Like I said, we still would like to give you those 2 days, but we just like the floating days, and I wasn't sure how to word it particularly on the paper. Cause I didn't know how you guys would want to look at it, so we just put something together, so this is what we could ask for. But obviously, we'll give you the 2 days like we at least have right now, but I didn't know what to put, cause I wasn't sure. I don't want her to go till 2 AM, I don't want to go till 1 AM. I want us to be finished, honestly, midnight is what I would like to do. But we didn't know, so I just had to put something to make sure I had a little buffer per se, so. I'm asking for that, but I know I'm probably not gonna get that. We'd like to have midnight, but again, because if something happens, yes, on
On the
the
weekends.
weekends, Friday, Saturday.
Not during the
Friday,
week.
Yeah, just Friday, Saturday, but something does happen on Friday, Saturday during the race, so I can clean it up. Like, it almost always happens right at the last minute, like, because they're trying to win, so everybody turns up their stuff to go faster because they want to win the event.
Saturdays at 2:30, it's closed.
Like I said, we just asked
I don't-
for it.
I don't know
But-
if have you ever ran till 2:30 in the morning? I don't ever
Should've.
remember.
We're almost
What
90.
about the crowds that you get? They're gonna still be there, correct? People.
After, well, if we
They're not
finish,
gonna be gone by then, are they?
if we finish at midnight, let's say we run till midnight and the last cars go down at midnight. After that, then people will be making their way out. So we'll have some residual crowd, they would end up leaving, and hopefully, by 1 o'clock, everybody would be out. But, I can't guarantee what people will do, when they're
Exactly.
gonna go, but most people don't hang out, they'll pack up and go because they want to go home.
It was twice this year we needed to go past 11, right?
Well, I don't know before me, but
Right.
it was at least 2 or 3
Yeah.
since I was here.
That we needed to go past 11 just because of a mishap of an oil down or something like that, where we had to clean the track, so we had to get the track cleaned before we could send the car down to be safe. And,
Yeah, it was
we
at
don't
least-
want to go that
At
way
least 2
either,
or 3,
but
yeah.
we want to get the race finished for the people who are happy.
Mhm. I said, I just put some times because I wasn't sure what to ask for, or how to put it. So so this is learning curve for me. I've never had to do this before, so.
We act on this as presented, or can we modify this? Are they going to hear what the public has to say
Yeah.
first? No, I'm just asking legally. That's a better question.
Well, this is what was put in front of you, but you do have the authority to impose conditions.
Mhm.
Yes, going forward, we also have, I believe, study committees where you can come in, talk to the group before you come to a public hearing. So you give pointers on what we're gonna like and what we're not gonna like. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can, your stuff.
Is there any more questions? Not all of the audience? That you got, you want to read them off? I'd ask that everybody get 3 minutes. 3 minutes is plenty of time. And talk to the board.
Thomas Bacon is the first person.
In speaking about the racetrack, I believe that there should be some public nuisance involved in this. I mean, racing, I understand racing is loud. These guys have promised 2007, when they had a new owner here who was going to incorporate a berm that was going to divert sound and they were gonna make it much better. Well, now, we're looking at this racetrack and we're listening to it. Now they're racing on the weekends. From April to May, while the kids are still in school, studying at home. How can you expect the kids to, they're under enough pressure right now. Why do you expect racing to continue during school times? That's another point. As far as a track getting messed up because of racing or a guy's car blew up, that's the cost of doing business. If something happens like that, it's not like, well, we're just gonna extend this for another 2 hours because the car blew up. That is not fair to the people around here to listen to this. Getting ready at night, getting ready for church on Sunday. No, you can't. You try to have a family gathering over on a weekend, you can't. And it's getting ridiculous, and it seems like there's no onus on these people to provide something better. It's not for the people of Indiana. If you go sit there on 50 South and 41 and look at the cars coming in there, very few people with their vehicles are from Indiana. They're mostly Illinois and out of state. Why is Newton County residents burdened with this kind of liability? If you call the sheriff's department that they're running late or they're only supposed to race till 11 o'clock and now they're racing at 11:30, and you call the county and they said, well, we can't send an officer down there to verify this because we don't have the officer available. If these people want to run a racetrack that does not really attract responsible clientele to come to because they race up and down 50 South, going and coming from the racetrack. And if they need to have a police presence there, then why aren't they mandated to hire a police officer or 2 police officers to regulate traffic, to watch the people that are leaving, that are paying no attention to the laws and running up and down roads? They are a nuisance. It's not an attractive thing at all to have in this county, I believe.
Sorry, your 3 minutes is off. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Steve? Wayne?
Fine.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm not a speaker. Can't believe we're here again. The last time got more than I thought we should have. It is easy to forget the problem when you're not living there. I have lived here my whole 73 years in my house. And I was here when that was built. And I didn't ask for it. If I was 17, I'd think that was really cool, but I'm not 17, I'm 73. And I only hope that our new commissioners and you guys can see what a problem the track is for local residents. The noise never lets up. And now they want to go longer hours and more days is asinine. if I had my way, I would shut the whole thing down, period. And we can't sit out on the porch at night. I can't go down to my pond, go fishing. We keep our windows shut all summer long. When we wouldn't have to, we sleep with a big fan right by our heads, just to try and drown out the noise. How my friends and neighbors that live right by the track keep from going insane, I'll never know. We live 1 mile straight west. The noise is deafening. The 1st of October, we were in Minnesota for 2 weeks. We drove 700 miles that day, got home, opened the truck door, and the first thing I heard was "Wah!" And it was a funny car. I had my feet hadn't even hit the ground yet. And so please, commissioners and you guys, please put a stop to it. Thank you.
Michelle? There it is. Brian?
That's me. I'm Brian Schutz. I live on 50 South, the other side of 41. My comments echo what has been said previously. It's all about the noise. The noise is annoying, it's disruptive. I don't think anybody can disagree with that. It disrupts and diminishes the ability to enjoy the rural area. Okay? You want to go 6 days a week. You want to go to 1 AM, 2 AM. You want to have 2 more months. I think that's out of bounds. Okay? Echoing what was said before, there are burnouts and there's physical evidence of burnout. I'm not saying that the track is responsible for it or the patrons of the track, but it's factual evidence on 50 South and other public highways. Okay? I assess that this is not a good idea and I encourage commission to vote no on the petition. Thank you. Unless you have got some questions.
Eric Shields?
I'm speaking on other matters, please.
Daniel McCarthy?
I was speaking on different matters.
Bruce Shields? Bill Hamke?
That's us.
That's
You
us.
didn't know if we should.
And Peggy Myers?
Well, I echo everything that has been said. I would like the floating days they're requesting, that is not fair to us. We have to schedule some kind of a social life and we don't get it. And having you guys float days around that, you know, if we have a birthday, I expect it to be, we have to have it on Monday. And you guys wanna take all, you just wanna crap on us some more. And that's where it's at. I think it's inconsiderate.
Did we miss anybody on the list? Want to make sure we didn't miss anybody on the list. All right,
Anybody else? Your name, sir?
Wade Gibson,
And Wade, what's your address?
293.
Sir.
So it's not really, you know, how late they run to. For hours, after traffic, nothing around it. 2, 3 hours after it closes, all night long. And I don't understand why they're on 250 anyway. Why can't traffic not be directed 50 south? 40?
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Your name?
David Jekyll, 1439 South 50 West. So we're at the very end of the racetrack. If you were to draw a straight line, we're probably a couple thousand or 1,500 feet or so from the end of the track. And as if we're sitting in the stands, it's so loud fairly consistently whenever they're racing. I bought the property 11 years ago. So I'm not a lifetime resident. I haven't been here 73 years. Wish I was, love the place. But, when I bought it, I did understand the track is there. But now they wanna go past what I already knew to be what their hours were. I have a problem with that, as others have said, the noise and stuff on in the area, the nuisance. We still have kids in high school. Having them try to study or even having any kind of social life, again, I'm echoing all of the same things being said. 250, my wife and I like to, either ride our bikes or walk up and down the road when we can. And there's so much traffic now going up and down 250 between the gas station and the racetrack, and one night we ran off the road because of traffic. I don't know if they were from the track, but I do know they were Illinois plates and we had to hide in the woods. Because they literally backed up looking for us. They were speeding up, we had to jump off the road because they were trying to hit us. It is what it is. I think it's a nuisance. I think it's, above and beyond. That's all I got to say.
Thank you.
Jeremy Bagerwall, I'm the fire chief here in Morocco. I was notified that my name got brought up a little bit. I just wanted to clear things up. We respond all emergent calls to the racetrack, to any residents within Beaver Township, Jackson Township, McClellan Township, Colfax Township. That's no different. We had recently gone out there for a boot drive and we were there for the day. We were on site, but I made it very clear with everyone sitting at that table that we were part of the county, not part of that racetrack.
That's
correct.
That when we were there doing that, we were not there for their wrecks unless they called 911.
That's correct.
My guys are not allowed to touch a vehicle out there unless our pagers go off and we are dispatched by the sheriff's department. We are not there for hire for them. They have made a donation to us that is very generous. They made donations to our guys that were very generous. But at the end of the day, I don't have an affiliation with them. I don't have any training set up with them. They've never asked me to do any trainings out there. I don't have, the Morocco Volunteer Fire Department does not have an affiliation with that racetrack. So I don't have a problem with them. I don't live close enough to have a problem. If I lived where you guys live, I probably would be saying the exact same thing because I can hear it and I live north of Brook. I just wanted you guys sitting up there to know that I wasn't here, so I don't know what was said, but I didn't want you to think that they had a marriage with the Morocco Fire Department, like we were gonna be a service for them.
No.
Outside of emergency
No.
response. So that's all.
I did, again, I want to touch on that too, so I don't know if that came across like that, but they were just there to do a boot drive. If we ever, any type of accident, that's the first thing we do, is we call 911 to request service immediately. That, or ambulance as well, if, God forbid we need that, but it is called, right away.
Any more? Questions? Not, bring it back to the board for further questioning.
All right, I have one more question. There was some on their website about a November 8th event. Is that allowed for their?
They have a race November 8th, basically, free, go. That one starts,
I have anything on that,
I already saw that earlier today as well.
because that was already on the schedule, whenever they made it
From
from last year.
Three Kings TV, Saturday, November 8th, of race day 41. Starting at 9:30 AM, the gates open, and it's all day of 40-mile-per-hour start road racing to the 13th one.
What does the original PUD say their quit time and
Saturday.
absolute dates of racing?
But that's. I think we have.
Saturday, 8 AM, gate open, 9 AM, tech and car warm up,
But not-
no race engine firing before 9 AM, 10 AM. 11 PM racing. Majority of the races complete before 11 PM. 11:30 PM, 50% lights off, 12 AM lights off, quiet time.
And is there a monthly Start where it stops.
as far as,
What's the operation?
Months of operation.
no, here's. Limits of operation. Yeah, cause I'll be honest with you, looking at other drag racing websites and stuff and following some of the.
Well, I was just asking if we had it in the PUD from the original
No,
PUD,
I think
where there
not,
was a date.
No, I got started in March and then in November, I don't have anything with that.
When they're provisions, they could come, ask for
Right.
special rate states, but they had to come.
Had to give a 30-day notice. If
Yeah,
it was a special
something I had
event.
to remember.
So they come, they had to get.
I knew they could have special events
With permission.
with permission.
With permission.
You should probably ask for permission.
So
before
could you share with us what you're looking at down there, so we know what the heck you guys
Yeah,
are doing?
sorry. That's done too.
I
I'd like-
landed a
I'd
copy
like
of
to
this
see-
email from,
I'd like to see the PUD from before, so we see it in writing, instead of everybody saying, I think.
there's multiple PUDs.
Yeah,
This is the stack of PUDs.
the one that's our last one, so we know what we're trying to change from to.
And it's not very clear because there was a lawsuit back in 2020. And I don't know all the details of the lawsuit because they changed ownership. The last thing in the court docket was from December of 2024. And that was part of the agreement right there is that email of what they had. That's all.
We really don't know.
No one's shared with me anything with the court docket as far as what the final agreement was, other than that paperwork there.
You know, say it.
No, I do.
Always been April first is when they're allowed to start to November first. It has always been there. It is in the PUDs somewhere because way back when, that is what they set up. April first, November first. Always has been that way.
I knew there was date, there was months.
Yeah, but I just.
Is it in one of the documents?
That's-
Meeting when they said those dates.
It's in November first, back then. In your defense, you bought something, I understand, there've been numerous owners and numerous problems. So you're kind of getting yourself into a,
Well, this is the manager, this is the owner.
but I'm saying. There's been a lot of issues and a lot of. And you should have been informed, these are the rules, that's what you got into.
But when we scheduled that race, there was nothing on our rules saying that.
Somebody should have told you that when they bought it.
Due diligence.
Yeah.
Every time they do go over, it's they get new rules.
Nineteen ninety-two, you saw the room, changing from another PUD.
I know it's been before us, 3 or 4 times, and there was. I don't say restrictions, but PUD was changed a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first, there was
Yeah,
none,
right.
and they come in
Second.
in 21 and they set the rules. They did it, the previous track owners set the rules. Before that, there was no PUD ever filed.
That would have been.
So we're in a meeting like this again, where everybody's complaining, so we set a PUD. This is what everybody follows, no matter who owns the racetrack or what, that's the PUD.
Mm-hmm.
You have the right to the revision, you're here. But there is a PUD and then we've been through it. And it's gotta be printed somewhere, what we agreed on originally. Which would have been 21,
Maybe we had them know that.
Oh, in 2021?
I think so.
So in 2021, that agreement was summarized by an email. And then it was never reduced to writing in a format that was ever filed with the court. So everyone has been operating based on that agreement that was negotiated.
That's this one.
County
Right.
attorney and the racetrack attorney at that.
So we're looking for something that's like this.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is it.
That's why Slam Eggs has been in my file, in my office for.
That's all we have.
That is the most recent revision to the terms. But to the extent that there are things that aren't addressed in that agreement, those terms would be governed by the previous agreement. That is just the changes.
Mhm.
It's never, had never been spelled out the first or November first nations of operations.
I don't personally know the answer to that, but I suspect that the answer to that is contained in the styles somewhere.
Yes, please.
It was a start. It was a starting date. Exactly.
I wish I'd written down some of them.
That's why we moved.
And there's been changes of traffic pattern because, you know, they used to line up on the road, now you've made space on the property for the cars to line up, which,
Yes, sir.
right, well, maybe they don't, but anyway, there was some changes made there.
Right. Basically, the revision is what we're here for today is hours and days of operation. Not months, weeks. That should be already established.
No, my ask if you find something that tells me a specific day, I would like to know because all I have coming into this and from what we know is just what's here. I don't have any months or anything. Obviously, I'm not gonna race in December. Yeah,
You're stepping in the situation that's.
and obviously I'm not gonna race December, January, February.
But we do
March.
run from April to November. That is what we've been doing.
And if it's nice, obviously, I'd like to